My name is Shawn Khalifa. This is my dream come true, to speak to you. As a 15-year-old boy, I was locked inside of a juvenile hall. I would never go home. Instead, I was given a life sentence in the adult prison system. Many nights I wanted to cry. Many nights I wanted to die. But I couldn't do it. You gave me the strength to push on. I was a youth like you when I was taken by a flawed system and thrown away like trash. I was a youth like you. A youth like you. I lived through it and see the secret. I was the power of America. You are the power of America. Whether you are a struggling student getting into minor trouble or a full-fledged gang member in the hood, America's power is you. Today is a good day to reflect upon who you are. Tomorrow doesn't exist yet, but when tomorrow comes and you recognize your importance today, you will have made it. It will be thanks to you that our country remains young, bright, talented, and strong. I live to assure your success with the youth before you had failed. In Ferguson, Missouri, a kid was shown on television saying, "Where are all the leaders? Where are our leaders at?" I sat back in my prison cell knowing the answer to this kid's question. Where are the leaders at? I can tell you that thousands of leaders are here. We exist, we are alive, healthy, and well. We are also waiting to be released back into our communities that will be made stronger by our presence. For now, we are hidden inside the prisons of America. We have spent years studying and preparing ourselves for the moment when we come back. With blessing, I will read to you statements from 3 of these leaders. First, I will read to you a statement written to you by Jeree Robertson. What up, free world? My name is Jeree Robertson, a.k.a. Rhea. I am writing this because I want you all to know the truth. When I was a kid, I used to think that by going to jail, you get stripes for being in jail. All the TV shows and movies say only badasses go to jail. I figure you hard by making it to jail. Well, that is so not true. The hardest dude in here be on his bunk at night crying their eyes out. That hardcore gang member in here will snitch on you just to get a lesser sentence. See, the funny thing is, time is not hard to do. We got TV and jobs and recreation in here. It's like living at a park or schoolyard. But the thing that gets you is never getting out, being utterly alone in here. Everybody out there forgets about you. All the acts you do to be considered hard out there don't matter in here. All the money you made don't matter because you can have $1 million on your books, but you can only spend $180 a month just like everybody else. So what a person who is trying to be so hard start doing when they sit here for a couple of years of being alone, that big homie you ain't seen in all them years get weak, start messing with the Goonies, homosexuals. Only the strong-minded and strong-willed like me stay solid. And that makes you more alone because you look up to your big homies and then you see them in here with big muscles and baby oil on, holding hands with another man, and they think you wrong because you don't think that's cool. Or the same so-called right on the street you knew is in here literally working as a CI for the police. These dudes will tell on you for an extra lunch. And the excuse is that we all got to live here. They just want to be safe. I am telling you all this so you know what you got to look forward to if you keep trying to be hard instead of real. Nothing. All them people you ain't seen in a while, they here, and the majority of them is doing the opposite of what they was telling you to do in the streets. Most of them was only turned up because they was high. And here you had no choice but to be the real you. Then it's no escape. Even when they release you, they put a collar on you called parole and send you back here for anything you do wrong. This ain't the place to be. It's better to be out there being yourself, all you can be, instead of being here where a person will take your life over a suit. Top ramen at that. Not because they hard, but because they bored, and people here would rather be dead than live here forever. Get your life, you all. Don't believe the hype. You're not hard because you come to jail. The real ones like me trying to get out of here and stay out. So in conclusion, would you rather stay in school now and get paid for it when you get out by having a good job, or go to school here and they make you stay longer by adding more time for not going here and working for 30 cents a day and that's a good job here? 8 cents is what you really get paid for 8 hours a day here. Be yourself out there. Be tough enough to be different while you are free, and you can change the world. Don't be like me, tough enough to be different in here because I do what you all doing out there or should be. In my life, a real gangster stands up for what he believes in, not a follower. When I found out what the majority of homies is really in these penitentiaries doing, I couldn't follow them. This ain't insured by survival. I can't take this ride. From a real YG, this ain't the place to be. I will now read to you a statement written to you by Jeff Tate. Greetings to whom this letter reaches. My name is Jeff Tate, and I am a 46-year-old white male in the California Department of Corrections. I have been in prison for 26 years, and I have a 5-year to life sentence with the possibility of parole. I am here to write you how I became where I am today. It started when I was a child at the young age of 9. I started to get rebellious and cause issues that brought attention to myself. First, I want you to know I was adopted to a 2-parent home who were hardworking and gave me everything I wanted and spoiled me. So all the pain and suffering I cause people in my family, I cause out of selfishness and pure stupid reasons. No one to blame but myself. My hope and wish for me writing this to have hope that someone will relate and hopefully I could help just one kid. As I was saying, I started getting in trouble at 9. That was also the age I started to get molested at. Once by a stranger and other by friends I met. Older guys I looked up to. So I started hanging around a gang in Redondo Beach around my home. And I also tried to do positive stuff like play sports. I played baseball, football, and skateboard and surf, but I always found myself looking for trouble. We moved to Torrance to get me away from the negative problems I was putting myself in. But as fate has it, it found me again. I moved to Torrance when I was 10, but for the first of 2 years, I was still doing bad stuff, stealing, lying, and cheating, not only to my parents, but to everyone I met. So finally, at the age of 12, a couple of guys I hung around attacked a couple of people with me there, and the Torrance police came to school and arrested me, and I ended up at LT Juvenile Hall, and then ended up at Central Juvie. I thought I was a badass, so I fought everyone. Of course, my parents came to my rescue, and I ended up in a charter hospital for young children. I was sentenced to 9 months, and I was already introduced to punk rock music and the lifestyle, so I met a guy there who later jumped me into a gang called FFF. And now when I got released from the hospital, I started running away to North Hollywood and hanging around my gang family. Also, I was being kicked out of every school in Redondo and Torrance, so my parents put me in a school for troubled teens. And there I was fighting, and people made fun of the way I looked, and I finally got into a fight, and a black guy broke my jaw in 3 places. And with that, it gave me all the reason to hate. So I became a neo-Nazi skinhead. I joined another gang after I left FFF and joined the LADS, Los Angeles Death Squad. We did a lot of criminal activity. We gay bashed, we attacked interracial couples, and promoted hate. I had all the stuff I needed to promote and hate someone. Anyway, all that hate and misery and criminal behavior caught up to me. I finally ended up in Central Juvie again, and this time I was going away for a while. I ended up getting 12 years in the worst place possible. I went to CYA. The courts gave me 12 years in CYA, and I was only supposed to do 3 or 4 years. But I went in there like I was in hell forever. I got into fights, riots, stabbed more people than I could remember. I went up the ranks so fast that after 6 years, the Board of Parole told me if I could stay clean for a year, they will parole me. So after 7 years, they finally paroled me. I went to CIA when I was 14 years old and came out 21 years old. I added 4 more years to my term. I could have been out in 3. I caught 4 extra years from all the gang and race riots I got myself in. So I finally paroled, and I was scared to death because I didn't know how to order from a menu, cross the street, and know how to act. Again, I had Mom and Daddy come to my rescue, and I paroled to them until I found my own place. I ended up with a townhouse, a dog, a truck, 3 jobs, and I was doing good. As a matter of fact, I was doing so good I screwed myself. I felt I didn't need my medication, and I started acting out when I was stressed. Finally, I snapped and ran someone over with my truck and stabbed the person 3 times. After a year in the county, I ended up with 3 life sentences, and let me tell you, it's been a long, hard road. I can remember every year I have done, and the pain and suffering I caused my family, I would say, friends, too bad. I never really had any. I am not going to get into my prison record year by year, but I became sober and clean in 2009, and for 6 years now, I have gone forward, and I'll never look back. I was a mean, hateful person who didn't have any respect for myself and others. Today, I am a changed man. I am 46 years old now, and I hope and pray it don't take people hearing this that long to ask for help. Step up and talk about your needs and wants and how you can help the next person. Today, I am learning to love myself and to love others. I still have a lot of amends to do, but this is one way. I am part of a lot of programs in prison. I am part of AA, NA, AVP, Alternative to Violence program. I have done 6 trades. I got my high school diploma, had college courses, and I am a lead man in my own shop here in prison. I am so grateful for all I have done today, for all I have today, and I am blessed to be asked to share my story with all of you. I wanted to wish you all many blessings and hope you have a joyful life. You are our future, and you form what life will be like. God bless you. Yours truly, Jeff Tate. Now I will read to you a statement written to you by Ismael Verdugo, titled, To Our Future. I write this to all the future leaders of society. My name is Ismael Verdugo. I have been in prison for over 25 years. I write this to you, our youth, in the hope that by hearing this, you can understand that this life that I am living is not living. I started acting out after my father left us. I never had a positive male role model growing up. I started doing things my way. I did not care about who I hurt. I started drinking around 14. I started to ditch school, lie to my mother about what I have been up to. For me, getting away with things became very easy. I never worried about getting in trouble at home because I did not respect my mother or fear her. To this day, I regret how I behaved towards her. I hurt very much at how I acted. Now I am earning her respect little by little, but by my changes that I have made on myself. Around 15, I got jumped into a gang. I thought I found a group that understood and loved me for who I was. I started doing drugs at that time, and slowly they took over who I became. Around 17, I started to get in trouble with the law. At 18, I started going in and out of jail. Being locked up also became easy for me. I started getting used to it. Around 20, I started to get really involved in the benefits of drugs. Like so much of the other bad behavior, this also was easy. This horrible belief system had me commit a murder. I came to prison with a 15 to life sentence. For 18 years, I continued to rely on the belief system that I learned on the streets to survive. What I did not know, I made sure to hang around with people that did. I seen and did things that hurt others, myself and my family. I carry the shame on how long it took for me to own what I did and be accountable for those actions. I have to be honest and say to you that I may never get out of prison. I have missed my family. I was not around when someone passed away or someone was getting married. I write this to you because I do not want what happened to me to happen to you. Your generation is smarter and brighter than when I was young. Please take advantage of the good things in life. Find someone that is doing the right thing out there. There are more good people willing to help the young than ever. Please, reach out to a positive role model. Ask for help. Do something that I wish I would have done. God bless you. Much love, Ismael Verdugo. Finally, I will read to you my own personal statement. Titled, Letter to the Youth. I am an inmate serving a life sentence in the California State Prison. I was incarcerated, locked up when I was 15 years old. My 16-year-old friend went to rob a house and he ended up beating the owner to death. That same friend shot and killed an 18-year-old who helped him rob that house. I was convicted of murder for the man who died in the house robbery. I am now 25 years old and sentenced to die in prison. I am writing this letter because I know how it feels to kick it with the homies and have respect from them. I am telling you the truth when I write that's not the respect we need. I was raised by a single mother. She is who I should have been living for, not my homies. If you are not paying attention to this, you are the kid I am trying to reach. Let this letter reach you because you are the reason I am writing this. People once tried to reach me, but I did not let them. I remember I hated my school teachers, but I later learned in juvenile hall that they are some of the most important people in our cities. Have you ever taken the time to think about the reasons your teacher is a teacher in the first place? Because of you. To teach you what you are not going to learn from the homies. Knowledge is more power than a gang will ever have. When you get home today, try to find some time to talk to your parents, grandparents, or whomever is raising you. Tell them how much you love them and give them a big hug. That person will be the first and last person to stand by you. They are there when you are born. They'll be there when you die. My mother has visited me almost every week for the past 10 years. Even when I was sent over 1,000 miles away from home to Pelican Bay State Prison, she found her way there to visit me. Now, even though I am sentenced to die in prison, I want to earn my mother's respect, not the homies. The homies led me to a life prison sentence. You are important to the world. Being from the ghetto only makes you stronger for doing something with your life. Education is key. If you find yourself in prison in the future, you can think back to this letter and remember I tried to tell you. If you find yourself outside with the homies, look to the sky to remind yourself there is more to life. Don't do it. You are the only one who can stop yourself from doing well. Your worst enemy is yourself, not the kid from a different gang. If you want a better life, make one for yourself. It's really up to you.